some of the dignitaries, some of the people that are going to aid in many areas, in many aspects, that will be speaking from their own experiences. So if you're a young person like me, I would urge you to pay utmost attention. And if you have a notebook or something to note here with us, and I will start with Dr. Shabab, who is the Managing Director of Equity Bank South Sudan. Let's give him a round of applause, please. Association of South Sudanese Entrepreneurs. Let us give him a round of applause for coming. Thank you, sir, for coming. We appreciate your presence. Please. And I would ask him to come and sit in front, because that is where you belong. I'd also like to acknowledge the presence of the Chagai Foundation representative, who is Ms. Executive Director or CEO and Founder, Mr. Kenye Frederick, who is here right with us. Let's give him a round of applause. Just to give you a hint, this program, and it's our purpose that we want to empower youth through this session that we're going to have right over here. Let me just walk you through what we're going to have so that you'll have an overview of what this program is going to and the achievements. And I'll also be giving a welcoming speech from the representative of the Chagai Foundation. And from then on, who is called Adla Ruben, so she'll be giving us a poem in the meantime. And right now, we will be having a panel discussion where our panelists will be invited and we'll start our discussion right away. Now, allow me just to go through Shabab organization for you to know some of you, it might have been your first time, or some of you, it might have been your first time, or some of you, might be your second or third, but reconciliation, understanding, and cooperation, among diverse communities. And thirdly, adding the rights and interests of marginalized groups and advocating for positive volunteer opportunities. These achievements are a testament to our dedication. To fostering youth development and creating pathways for success. Now, partnership stronger, more unified communities. We are grateful for the support we have received this far, and encourage all of you to join us in this journey towards a brighter future. Just a brief introduction.
Just going to give you a highlight about what Chagai Foundation is all about, what we are doing, our mission is all about, what we are doing, our mission, and what so far we have achieved. So may you accept her apologies for not being around. So the vision of Chagai Foundation is to shape their future, and we also respond swiftly to women's needs during emergencies, amplified their voices. As you can see, we are all gathered today, working open day, which comes under the theme. Ignite your future. We are targeting the youth. So the panelists explain to them how they can overcome those challenges. They give them the key. How they can overcome those challenges. They give them the keys. So I'm very sure this session is going. This session is going to be share with them your ideas. So we are all here for you today. This day on.
Who is a poet. So, like we said, Shabab South Foundation, we give opportunities to South Sudanese to showcase them for their own good and their own benefits in the future. So we are going to be welcoming our sister by the name Atla Ruben to be able to come.
Ever been to the rooms. So I may say take this point as something that is inspirational and can be beneficial to others. So let's hear it together. It is within to some. I understand it is within to some. I understand the several attempts you took, the many battles you fought, even going some days on foot, thinking you responsibility to adore your own esteem, responsibility to ignite your own future, because at the end it's you that have to nurture. To flame up that little pursuit, even if you don't see it, just don't leave it. Don't stop fixing, even if you don't see the results reaching. Don't go weary, sinking, because your candle was part of hoping, and keep living. Thank you.
So you have shared, I believe, the message was clear to all of us. Now moving on, we're going to start our panel with results. Peter has contributed significantly to various projects in Kenya, and in Kenya he trained refugee journalists through DIMSH, has also worked as a sub-editor for the Refugee Magazine and Film Aid, for the Refugee Magazine and Film Aid International 2014 to 2015. A senior journalist for the Dawn Daily English newspaper in Juba. Okello has attended symposiums and debates on new media in many African countries and overseas. Currently, Okello has a youth forum show on Radio Mirai management from Team University, Uganda. He holds postgraduate diploma in international peace and conflict analysis from leadership in the organization from UNICA. He holds a certificate in English language proficiency from the United Nations. Currently, he is of our journalist and the moderator of our next panel discussion, Mr. Peter Okello. Without wasting much time, I'd like to give this opportunity to Mr. Peter Okello to welcome.
Forget of the rest. First of all, good evening. Are we all okay? Right. Happy to have you all today. My job is going to be very simple. I will tell us, and then from there we are having about 5 questions from my side that I will ask all of them. And the question will be cross-cutting of the opportunities that are available within the business setting. And this is going to be within the context of this country, not any other country. To what extent he will tell us when he's here, and that's why we are having him today. Dual is the CEO of King Power Group Limited. This is related to entrepreneurship. So he's an accountant by profession, and he's a former deputy manager operating. Dual, who have heard his name, who have known his activities or have known him in person, I would agree to the fact that he's one person that does not need much introduction. But let me let me just make it more briefer. They say the shorter the thing, the sweeter it becomes. So I'll leave the rest to him later. Doctor, he has a bachelor second class honor in economics at El Nelin University in Sudan Development. At El Nelin University, the same university, 3 years later. Dr. Addis, he as well, after completing successfully his second thesis, he owned another one in business administration. In between, he worked as a teaching assistant before recruited as a banking inspector at the Central Bank of Sudan in Khartoum. That is in 1997. That we do have at the moment, but then that was in Khartoum in 1998. And thereafter, he was seconded in 1999 to the Council of Southern Sudan families in the southern region, South Sudan currently, Southern Sudan then, but now South Sudan as an independent nation. I'll jump through. I've read a lot of that. I need to just squeeze it a bit. Dr. Addis Ababa Otto, currently is the managing director of the Equity. Come next to my right to be able to be with us at this particular moment. I hope all of you, gentlemen, all of you are well and you're good. You're going to have 1 minute each, just to tell us who you are, if I do not miss. And then we'll begin with Mr. Dwal.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen, for coming. And also thanks to Shabab Sawa and also the Shagaifa South Sudanese youth who are aiming at bettering South Sudan. I'm called Dwal Gerjek 10. I am the chairperson to 10. I worked for that petroleum for a period of close to a decade, and from there I resigned and pursue my quest for people who have thinking of creating something new other than employment. They feel lonely, so that's why we created this association. We co-founded with most of the guys who.
Thank you, Dwal. Dr. Harris.
Thank you very much, Peter. I am who he said I am. I don't want to add more. I've been working in the banking sector. Too old, but I still feel like I belong to this group. I'm still youth. Yes, I started working from 1996. Yeah, but that is not why we are here. We are here for to learn from each other. To live 100% assurance that he knows or she knows everything. No one has monopoly of knowledge. So as you are here to listen, I'm also here questions and here to raise so many questions. So thank you very much for listening and thank you for coming.
Thank you, Dr. Let's give a round of applause for that brief. Well, you are in charge, you and other members in the Entrepreneurs Association of this country. What should you tell us that the entrepreneurship body is doing? And 2 minutes then. We agree? 2 minutes. All right, let's go.
What I can say is a problem-solving mindset. So you approach. This is when you look at the problem that face the community that we are in, and especially for us as South Sudanese. We have a lot of problems, and for this problem, if we approach them with the right thinking, learn something from it. If let's assume this Sienna's Hub today is a place for youth that are coming together to the place was not like this. So that can shows they have a vision. Because without a vision, you might not have direction, and without direction, plan and how you can get feedback. You know, you can move forward. So this is what I can say about the entrepreneurship is a body for South Sudanese youth that they sit under trees and talk about the government. But we created this platform for you to come and talk to the government, talk to the relevant industry, about youth challenges, and always shows great support to us. So this is what I can say.
One pick there, we'll come back to another part of that. That's only in next week here. What do we need to know about the banking system, and how can the youth help those who have done accounting, those who have done business management administration, those vis-a-vis who have graduated, but then they look at
For South Sudanese, is it the bank that is meant to empower the youth, the women, and all the entire community? We have seen the government came up with so much policy, but one of them was to encourage the banks and the financial system in the country. So you have seen the fees, they paid up capitals. We've seen a lot of forex bureau coming up. We've seen so many banks bring the people with idea, those who are here. Again, equity is that, as Dual put it, is that for financial services. Now, let us forget a bit about this terminology. What are those? Only should be supported by bank. That is a normal core banking system in any. If I can take this group as a group with the surplus, people with so much money, and they might not know what financial institution, such as a bank, so that others with idea can now get supported through their surplus. So basically, that's what it is. But again, before 2013, we have seen some of the banks that have contributed in changing and transforming lives of so many South Sudanese. The bank can play to change our lives.
Dr. Addis, I will hold you to that in a second, but let me bring Dual in. Dual, in the year 2022, one Nobel person went. And he said, okay, look, I'm a graduate from the University of Juba, and I've done business management and administration, bachelor's. I'm in Konya I'm pushing wheelbarrow. I've been looking for a job. Vis-a-vis those who are thinking it as, I have a degree, why would I go to Konya and push wheelbarrow? I'll link this later on. Is the gentleman doing the noble job, or is it that he should have joined the entrepreneurship association that you have?
Imagine, I want you also guys to imagine with me. Imagine you have someone that will tell you when to wake up, breakfast, when to eat your lunch, when to see your kids. That's slavery. In another way, it's also employment. Self-awareness. We might get caught into the thick of thin things. So you have to also understand that you're doing something great. Because having a degree does not. Today I took my car to the garage and I was on a border. You know, Junubin, they like to share information, very generous about sharing information. People don't see the reason behind it. And then they start judging. And that's an easy thing to fall to. And sometimes it starts also again with being aware of confidence. And self-confidence doesn't mean you will be immune to other, other people critique, but you will understand your worth and you know. So it would be looking beyond that. So it's just something that you can grow. So that's what I can say.
How can financial institution play the role specifically that financial institution can play in assessing capitals for the small businesses in the country?
One, if you don't look in, you can call it self-awareness, self-regulation, your intellect, coupled with a vision. So if you know where you are heading, if you know yourself first, and you will know where you want to be, that should be the beginning of a long journey of success. So with this, suffer a lot to complete my engineering, and medicine, and to do what so many things. But again, you are born with some gifts. You are talented. Your thinkings, the learning, those kind of gathering, is for us also to get better. But again, how you look at things, the mindset. That's why that young person, for him, even if he want to venture into a new idea, passionately, to the bank. And that is what is important. Because sometimes we are quick to say, my brother needs some ability study or any kind of proposal, drop it into the bank. But when you go into a kind of discussion with a credit officer, you might not be. And the moment banks doubts of your ability, because actually your mind is not in that business, but you want to copy paste. You want alone. Remember, banks keep only money that belongs to others. As I said, those with surplus. So they would want to make sure access to capital, access to finance, for whatever reason, they are passionate about those ideas. It's not just an idea, it's not just a project that have, which is important. So yes, the banks are there, and as I said, I want to admit that maybe banks might not have played their role in a very welcome, and definitely no one will take it away from you.
Dr. Adis, you hold the microphone. I still have a question with regards to what you said. I have a business. Can you tell us how best can I design my proposal that would want me, that would grant as a loan, whatever it is that can make you or make any bank to accept that this is indeed accepted, that I can get this grant for me to begin a business?
Now, I will definitely, they will have so many challenges to get access to finance through the bank. Why? Because the first thing bank looked at is what is that because the first thing bank looked at is what is that you've been doing. So the cash flow. That measure that determines whether you will be qualified for a loan or not, then automatically you will be disqualified. It's not working well with most of our. Also forgetting that sometimes, entrepreneurship can be by necessity. You find yourself doing something simply because your heart has gone to it, or maybe this. Any company, being a government company or a private company, your salary can qualify you to get what we call consumer loan. Now, that can be the starting point as a way to get loan. You don't need any security, no problem. You just show the appointment letter. Now you get what we call a personal loan. Someone might say, why should I go to the bank for 5,000, 3,000? That will not even be, banks always believe in those figures, even if it's 1,000. And the moment you pay it off regularly, then you create a credit graduation process. You will graduate from that level to the next level where you now can ask for more than 1,000 or 2,000. Because banks will not look into something that will take you. I will support your business. You still can come to the bank. What are the requirements? I will also make ideas. When you looked at it, when the official looked at it, looked so successful, so viable. So what they will do, they will ask you for collateral. And it's pushed back to you. Simply because him is known to the bank and he will come in support for your application. Shabab Sawa. Come together, encourage saving culture. Saving account can be used as collateral to give loan to each and every member as a cash cover for loan for one of the members, and you take the responsibility of refund. Let me say this option. In Kenya, there is a product within the credit facilities. They call it group lending. A group lending coming up with some business idea. But what they did is because they see themselves walking into the bank, opening an account, they organize themselves into the group, maximum of 15, maximum, to put aside a saving of each and every member weekly. After a certain period, they went to. Now, what happened is the moment, of course, they were guaranteed the repay. But the moment that member
and you will empower the rest. This have worked in other environments. Maybe the way we see ourselves as brothers and sisters. If we can come up with excuses, we have no laws, no legal framework, things are tough, we don't see whether those security that you are providing, you see someone who would want to take money, because that is not what is there for. Thank you.
All right, you hold your microphone. For now, you qualify to have that microphone. I know we are business tycoon in mind because we have a lot of ideas, but then these ideas are not brought out. He said it very clear that there are avenues and an entrepreneur or that business person you want to become. But well, Dr. Adi says that there's loan, there's this that exist in the banking system that we have, or here and there. And if they are, what is your association doing to find ways as play that they are able to organize themselves and get these services for them?
Because bank, they fund collateral against cash flow. That's what they do. You know, you can talk the sweet talk for 2 days, but you will not relationship. So that you have to understand this. But you have to also know as an entrepreneur, and also me, if you come to me like Alice, Dr. Alice say, you want me to guarantee, I want an ice cream. You want to do it in WOW. I myself, I never went to WOW. I don't know even if those of people in WOW eat ice cream. I don't know. But we've learned about the game. Now we have qualified. We understood that you can start a business in a location that you're not there. You cannot also just delegate people. Other things beneath this, you have something called the psychometric analysis. You have to understand that someone who is naturally a complainer. Yeah, they know how to do things, but he's a complainer. You bring that person in your team, what do you leave it for big ideas? But again, there is the end. Other people's money. If your relative cannot trust you with their money, why the bank should trust bank or anybody else? You have to also, 3 fingers will point back at you. What are you doing? Do you convince your friend? If you're driving a nice car, that can be good stuff. You can sell it. If you believe in that, then you say, oh me, I can't stop because I don't have capital. In 2021, I did a business with one of the telecom company. I lost most of the money because by then the dollar rate was 4. Come back and you will discover that you're stronger than what you actually know. You'll find strength that you never knew that existed. And there are people that will come to your aid. So just believe in yourself.
Believe that your ice cream business in WOW did not succeed. No, classically, did your ice cream business in WOW die, and why did it die?
You know, look into our competitors if there are people there. So most of the things we did not plan well, we did not also follow up, we did not monitor, we did not get our feedback. You learn or you succeed. So if you don't succeed, just don't give up and continue. Again, I'll tell you that business has failed terribly. My partner is here, he can say more.
The international opportunities that exist, that South Sudan would collaborate, the entrepreneurs, for example, are they avenues at the international organization?
Yes, we have realized that even a bank with other investment sectors, and if we take agriculture for example, then is seen or considered to be a risky sector. So what we normally do is to find a wing of World Bank, the IFC, or African Development Bank, FAO, some UN agencies who are there willing to partner for international financial institutions. We want to come in to say, I can see an opportunity here, and many of your people are not grappling. It's untapped. Homework in terms of identifying who will be qualified, but we join in a partnership to ensure that this becomes a bank because it's there, and it's there in the business. So yes, they are there. I know it's because of political condition, the other is the market condition. We remember in 2012 there was some of embassies, and would have actually make a huge impact in the life of so many entrepreneurs. But again, it did not work. Support for even big businesses. The same for African Development Bank. We've been trying together with and the rest, just to partner to see whether they can support so much potential, especially agriculture. And I can assure you, now,
No, you add that point in 1 minute.
good. Around us, there are many businesses that have come up in the last 5 years. And yes, the economic sector, the businesses are dominated by our brothers and sisters from neighboring countries. This is also a fact. But again, you are struggling with is why are they getting support while we are not? This has been actually a concern of so many people. Thinking out of the box, or being creative, looking into ways and being passionate about it. Bringing second-hand mobiles, but they are now millionaires, dollar millionaires. All of us to share some ideas, but ideas should start with you. Those opportunities are there, and you don't know we do have South Sudanese who own an apartment. I do own an apartment myself. So you can see things are moving. You go to the market, konya, be passionate about it. Just pour your heart into what you want, and definitely you will get through it.
Right, right. I mean, that's really a keynote there. Pour your heart into that. We began this place with one block. So he began building this place with only one block and one brick, right? And it takes them some time for this place. Rural society of South Sudan is facing, briefly. What do you think are these challenges? Forget about the Nelson challenges, for example.
Together like this. And also in business, most of us here, I believe, would have more than, not less than 20 CEO here. But we don't need this. If you did not understand the power of collaboration, having people that have different background, that also have different access, networking, it's so essential for what we know. And that's what limit us. If you look to Konyo here, our brothers, the Sudanese, the Zagawa, they always come together in groups and support and work toward it. Because anything that you see as big as it is, it starts small. Nobody knows how to start a company when they do. But again, other people experience it, identify your strengths and just work toward your goals.
Okay, Adis, you want to add anything there?
Let me add on that, family. Simply because inequality. They see you making a bit of money now. I want to do ABC, and if you say no, then you and your. Let us also be honest to ourselves. You separate business from social issues. What you cannot, definitely you can't do. The other things is the market condition. We've been facing a lot of things. Those who are in the market. Sometimes SSP will be valued tomorrow, whether we will appreciate or depreciate against the dollar, and most of the things come from outside. So that market condition is affecting everyone. Sometimes can have a microfinance institution, all the financial institutions that are there. But again, simply believe that I'm my brother keeper, I'm my sister keeper. Why we this Garaba, our our brothers from Sudan, I don't know whether they are here. If there is something that we have learned from them, it's coming together. And we are so much into each other. I cannot sleep if my brother is sick. Even if that means the last thing that I have in my pocket at the real time. Let us also learn how to separate things.
Sometimes it might come out like you are so rude, so inhuman. Hey, but tomorrow you might be the reason to change his or her life in a very positive manner. So you also need to think a bit ahead. Yes, come up with some new values that are even not South Sudanese. Because you will be accused of being not South Sudanese. You want to succeed, stick to the principles and ideas that you believe in, the way that you think you can succeed, and not the assumption.
All right. Thank you, Dr. Aris. Thank you all. The panel member will respond to them. And when you respond, I'm going to also give you a minute to respond and make it more briefer and more precise, so that we don't stay here for long. And so that 5 hands, 5 questions, and then it will be responded to. It would be good to just say your name and then the question. Thank you.
My name is Odola Award. With profound gratitude, I'm very glad. You talk of entrepreneur in the banking system. Now, how did you expansion you have seen? It has really promoted the traders. Second question in the banking system. You are generating from the income or the commission that you are getting. That goes to Dr. Addis Ababa. And you find that for us to be encouraged for you to do the banking. We have the foreigners who also are having the dollars and they are not coming to bank.
First time here, but it's my second time to the sessions. First time was sometimes 2021. Thanks to let me just try to have one to this and that. Maybe this one is a quick question to Mr. Dwal regarding the youth in South Sudan. It says here you're the chairperson of the Entrepreneurs Association of South Sudan. Somebody one time told me that most to engage in certain work, and if they are trained to do those kind of work that he's talking about, and talking about blue-collar job, if they are the urge to do it, and if you go ahead and give them the reason or the incentives for doing that work, those who are made from unable to unwilling will still become over-ambitious in the market, which is now dominated by foreign nationals. And to Dr. Sababa, who one trait was not mentioned in the introduction, that at one time he was the deputy governor on all public servants to open bank accounts with any commercial banks. Do you think the right word would have been any commercial banks, or the bank you represent is a foreign bank? What does it do to encourage local entrepreneurs? This foreign bank that you are representing is in Kenya. You don't find South Sudan currency trading there, but when you go to Equity Bank, you find the Kenya shilling is also trading on your exchange rate. Maybe if you can expand on that. Thank you very much.
The opportunity, some of us, we don't know, we just see the building, so we don't know what is inside there, if there is an opportunity for young entrepreneurs, so we want to know it on a daily basis. Instead of keeping the money at home, so what are the best ways to serve the business money? Thank you.
What is the name, sir?
PAM.
Yes, been asked by my brother there, so I will not repeat it. I'll just go directly to Mr. Dwal. Mr. Dwal, is South Sudanese Entrepreneurs Association an open platform for how is it going to benefit us and our businesses? That's what I would like to know.
Of the brass company and Kimo Motors bond. My question goes direct to let them not playing that role as we expect from them. My second question, talking about market, also lack of getting essential tools that they can manage their business in a good way, especially in pound stabilization.
This question was about the market segmentation. As the association, we have been working closely with the Chamber of Commerce because they have other associations, other plans in the future, which is to have something we call the Entrepreneurs Funding Bank. But this is in the long run. But currently, we are working with the Chamber of Commerce. It's about how South Sudanese entrepreneurs have incentive to put their money in the bank, and what we are doing about it in the association that are hindering the business. The restriction of the withdrawal amount to 10 million. That was seriously, maybe we can. Mr. Stephen also has asked a very interesting questions about South Sudanese youth. They are unable and sometimes unwilling. Is one of our thematic areas. We make sure that we educate young entrepreneurs and also existing entrepreneurs, and also because sometimes if a person is not trained on how they can charge and how they can do pricing, this is a knowledge. This is not something, if you try anything wrong through training and capacity building. We have also a master class. We have an informative forum, which is a monthly forum, is where we bring stakeholders from the bank, the city of South Sudanese population. Women. We have Young Female Business Expo is a platform that is conducted every 2 months for female to come, and it's more like a bazaar. Yes, Mr. Daniel has asked if the association is an open platform. Yes, this is a body that represents the South Sudanese entrepreneurs. If you have any ideas that you think are beneficial to the association, we are open to adopt it. The association now has come to existence. It has 3 it's more of a training that's championed by one of the keynote speakers like Musi. They come and empower South Sudan. The platform is open for all South Sudanese. That's, I think, as far as the question addressing this.
We're looking at you to make it. All right, I'll try to combine your question by the one that was raised by firms. You see, to encourage people to open an account, you have to come up with some policies, directions, some guidelines, all the way from the regulator. Now, by encouraging everyone to open accounts, why would I put my money in the bank? This is a very genuine question. If I'm not given maybe interest in return, to respond to what we could have done to provide an opportunity for entrepreneurship or entrepreneurs in or authority that is tasked to ensure that whatever little that you have is put in activities that are meant to ensure that the entire banking sector followed all those directives, circulars, and regulation to channel that need to be supported. So if it is agriculture, that means there are policies that should come out clearly directing and encouraging banks to channel their excess fund to things is issue of trust. Again, banks are seen to be there trying to make money out of those poor. The banks are there to mobilize when they see an opportunity to channel those deposit mobilization to other areas. When the bank is there to guide within the monetary policy. Now, again,
told me whether the National Bank. And let me say this, not because I'm the team leader of a regional bank, but there is no, you don't segregate. The banks are healthy competition. Now, if you restrict civil servant to open an account with the National Bank, maybe it's not a choice. I might not want to put my salary in a bank that will disappear tomorrow. And remember, we don't have a structure that take care of the people advocating for the national foreign bank. But again, people should be given a choice to choose the bank of their choice, because it is you in this bank or that bank. So they should be given a choice. And we are also helping our national bank through capacity building. It's not that we don't. Ones are not playing the role in empowering the civil service. The legal framework in this country is not developed in a way that encourage the bank to give access to funds. What do I mean by that? Simply put, especially if the land is in Juba Nabari here, I might not know whether that land is owned by one individual, that particular individual that I'm requested for loan, or all. But again, that is not, you don't have an established court that can speed up the process of now recovering your loan. In other jurisdictions, you will find money. So you have a commercial court in some area, they look at whatever happened, and the court ruling come out in a day or two or a week. It will be very hard for a bank to go into this. But again, let us also not forget, the majority of, and mainly they are more in transactional operations, what we call non-funded income. The market of dollars, and everyone wanted to be in that area, in that space, trading in dollars. Bank went into that. And they were so little. Some banks, and I speak civil servants. And those yes, those who wanted to venture into any kind of investment, they are worked simply because they knew there's so much opportunity. Where you look at the reports in up to 2013, most banks here were making money like never. Why banks are not doing their parts in terms of regulation, in terms of legal framework, in terms the rates merge, they converge. When there is no any differences, no margins, no huge margins, the bank will be forced. You can see many big buildings, projects, factories, the facts. I think, Hamis, I hope I have sufficiently answered your question. In the public sector, I don't want to talk here as the MD of Equity, but maybe because I also teach at Global University. I just want to be careful of what I want to say. If you look at what had happened in this market and the way we have not spearheaded by Minister of Trade, it used to be Minister of Commerce, now Trade and Industry, purely encouraging and did not capitalize on so many good provisions from the Investment Promotion Act that has encouraged each. The way we did not utilize, if I might, the opportunities that were there before, NILPET and all other government institutions that were searching out money here and there to empower that we can place accept ourselves. Because those who grab those opportunities, they are now so far and they are well established. And it happened into through the government position or through other maybe avenues. 2013 and all the difficulties that we went through is that we become so resilient into what we believe in. The fact that we are sitting here, that on itself is so encouraging. That on itself is so encouraging. For a very simple reason. We have design. Yes, there are challenges, it's true, especially in the youth sector, and with youth and women, that is true. Through what the little that we do in terms of capacity building, in partnership with the association, but also through sharing ideas like this.
In this session at 6:30, I don't know if the organization will lead me to that, but if that is the case, then it means that we are remaining with 18 minutes or something thereabout. So I'll give 3 questions or 2, and each question per one person, but it could go to all the panel members, that's not a problem. But 1 question per person, 3 or 4.
My question is going to nationals who intend to give businesses to their own people. Dr. Addis Ababa, then you were part of the economic policy makers of our country. Or on your expert foreign nationals, somebody will come here as an expert, bring in a brother, register a company, and later on is given a business.
My name is Elizabeth Abu. My question goes to Mr. Tuat. What are the challenges do women entrepreneurs face in South Sudan, and how can this be addressed?
Doing business at regional level. Next month, South Sudan is going to host the 24th anniversary of the East African Community, So I want the expert, 2 of them, to talk on how we can utilize this opportunity to promote our local entrepreneurs.
Yes, hello, my name is Anakon, and my question goes to Dual. And the question asked about Dual is the overtaxation to businesses. And that question goes to him again.
Talking about the platform, the AAS, how the platform mentors and coaches the young entrepreneurs in South Sudan. And if there are platforms that are already available, used within those platforms. Thank you.
Thank you so much. I'm by name Michael Okeno. My question is going to the chairman of the Association of South Sudanese Local Aspiring Entrepreneurs to consider. Thank you.
Thank you for the question. To my sister Elizabeth, she asked what are the challenges that are faced by that we have been raised in our societies. Women have always been left backward. You know, most of men here talk because if we go back to the first thing that I mentioned, self-awareness. There is an actor, his name is Wint Miller. He's the main actor of Prison Break. It was a series that quote unquote, you know, in deep trouble. How do you speak to yourself? Some of us will just speak to ourselves, and our ladies mainly will say, of course, you're stupid. Consider being your own best friend. You know, women sometimes don't come to their one self-aid, so also we start with the collaboration. But also we have, so I tell all of us, it's a collective effort. It's not a one-person job. So the challenges are immense, but that's being said, we can overcome it. We can overcome it. National Revenue Authority, I think what we like to put the two, you know, relevant authorities and bring South Sudan to speak that people are speaking under the trees. These are serious challenges. The other time we have had a few sessions whereby we have called on the national legislative, our grievances direct to them. It's a serious issue and it has to be addressed as one. He has asked about mentoring. whatever you think become possible. So, and also I will emphasize something very important, is the power of your inner circle. You can be a businessman. So consider attending the association forum, the programs. This is, you will enhance the identity that within you, because every one of us has this potential, but sometimes that potential might never be realized. The last question was about promoting promising industries. The industrial revolution, you talk of the globalization, you talk of the computer, you talk of the .com, the housing, the migration to green energy, all of this AI. AI, it's a big thing, this artificial intelligence. It has immense, capabilities that are yet to be discovered. So if you become the first mover into the AI, lastly about the AI, look at it, it's promising. And now you can have a lot of courses that are online. Now you go to YouTube, even how to tie your necktie, the way Daniel has tied his necktie. You just write it on.
Tim and Jacob, I think let us remind ourselves. Yes, I know back in 2013, that was in December. Before that, we had consultative meetings organized by 13. In December, the conditions, the opportunities in South Sudan for investment were, everyone wanted to come to South Sudan, and the conference went well, and to get empowered, to partners with those foreign investors that came. And again, you get into venture arrangement with a foreign country, foreign investors, you're entitled to own, I can see that opportunity will present itself again. Now, this time around is a bit different, because the condition back then enjoyed kind of political stability for the last 5 to 6 years, and might be for another years to come. So that done, and those areas are many. So yes, it's an opportunity. Again, we'll be competing with East Africa. Brothers from Kenya took so many of those businesses. So we should prepare ourselves and equip ourselves also to compete. This is maybe a takeaway. And what is that we can do? This time around, we know even more. Simply because back then, before 2013, we so many areas, a lot of oil, gold, agriculture area, and all those. But we had no proper resource map of gold. We do have here and there enough oils, enough this and enough that. Now we have there this time round to get into the businesses. So I think it is an opportunity, but also self, because the competition will be very high. How do we survive? That's what Jacob was saying. And maybe with that, people will come, those foreigners, experts, and they will leave me. We have survived then, and I don't see the reason why we don't. We are more prepared now than 1 year ago. How you want your future to look like? We all know, and I think that's the reason why you asked that question. How do I survive? How do we survive? We see many people coming here, and the only what they see is grabbing those chances that should have been given. But you grab your own too. You stretch your hand and grab your own. Capital sit sometimes in our minds, and you sometimes will say, "But this is not money." Yes, it is money. You are nationals, and you come from Kaji. This is where might be the power. You are from Yambio, Meridi, and you know this is where honey come from. Still, if you see a Japanese company who want to put